Well, ladies and gentlemen, the Joe Biden situation has gone from crazy to straight up, straight jacket level insane. So apparently, it just comes out that Joe Biden has late stage aggressive terminal prostate cancer. And now what makes all of this insane isn't the cancer itself. I mean, look at the guy, he's basically decaying. In Jake Tapper's new book where he's exposing Biden, the White House physician openly admitted to him that if Biden fell one more time, he would be in a wheelchair. So the cancer isn't what's shocking. What's shocking is just how late term and aggressive this cancer is, but yet the report from the Biden family says they just found out about it Friday, which has led to the medical community coming out in droves and saying for somebody who gets yearly checkups, especially to the degree that the President of the United States would, just finding out about this on Friday would be impossible, and they would have known about this for at least 5 years, which is adding to the anger already surrounding the conversation about this cover up and just adding another layer to it, that they weren't just lying about his mental health, they weren't just lying about the fragility of his physical health, they were lying that the President of the United States was riddled with cancer. As always, like the video and subscribe to the channel because this is going to be a good one, but just to catch you guys up to speed, here is CNN reporting on the breaking news that Joe Biden's got prostate cancer.
This breaking news, former President Joe Biden has just announced that he has been diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer. Let's get straight to the White House and senior reporter Betsy Klein with more on this. Betsy.
Yeah, Frederica, the White House, the office of former President Joe Biden issuing a statement just moments ago that the former president has been diagnosed on Friday with what they described as an aggressive form of prostate cancer that has spread to his bones. I want to read you this statement again from Biden's personal office. It says, last week, President Joe Biden was seen for a new finding of a prostate nodule after experiencing increasing urinary symptoms. On Friday, he was diagnosed with prostate cancer, characterized by a Gleason score of 9 with metastasis to the bone. While this represents a more aggressive form of the disease, the cancer appears to be hormone sensitive, which allows for effective management.
Now listen. Prayers to Joe Biden. I am not celebrating the imminent death of a former president. His family and loved ones should be truly ashamed for allowing somebody in this condition to not just spend his days on the beach eating ice cream like we know he likes to do. They forced him into the hardest job in the world, all for political power. Like, man, at this point, this is the biggest scandal in American history. It's a little less confusing now why the policies of the Biden administration were basically some of the worst, most anti-American policies we've ever seen. Because no rational person in their right mind would have allowed these things to happen. Which again begs the bigger question. Who was in charge of the decision making? Who was in charge of crafting these policies? Because these are policies that could not be pursued by American statesmen unless they were literally insane or the servants of foreign governments. So suspiciously enough, the former president has late-stage aggressive cancer that has attached itself to his bones. Some might say that's mighty convenient, seeing as a magnifying glass is being put over the Democrat Party because of the cover-up of Joe Biden's mental decline. And maybe they want to shift the narrative to something more soft and compassionate towards Joe Biden. Well, here is CNN confirming that theory.
His medical condition now, his announced medical condition now, do you believe that silences or delays a lot of conversations about his, last year and a half of his presidency for now?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think those conversations are going to happen, but they should be more muted and set aside for now as he's struggling through this.
Like, if you ever wanted an example of what the deep state is, this is the deep state at work. Like pulling strings to change the narrative and shift attention. It's so clear and so obvious because the Democrat establishment is desperate right now. They are in survival mode. And I don't mean that hyperbolically. They were already sitting at a historically low 21% approval. And now, because of Jake Tapper's book, the entire party, the entire apparatus is being held publicly accountable for the greatest scandal ever. And they thought by releasing this information and making it seem completely authentic, it might shift the sentiment. But all it's done is added fuel to the fire because it added another thing they were hiding from us. Because nobody with 2 brain cells to rub together thinks that they wouldn't have caught prostate cancer in the President of the United States. Here is one of the most partisan hacks on television. Fat Brian Stelter even saying that this looks a little suspicious.
The timing, Jessica, is just extraordinary. We know from the statement from his personal spokesman that Biden learned of the diagnosis on Friday. Well, what was the biggest Biden story on Friday? It was the release of those audio excerpts from his conversations with Robert Hur back in 2023. This was the audio that Axios obtained, almost certainly from the Trump administration, showing memory lapses. And you heard a lot of people on Friday talking about that audio being hard to hear, even excruciating to hear. Biden showing his age on those audio tapes that had never been heard by the public until now. So on the day that story was breaking, Biden was facing this personal news. At least that's according to the statement from his personal spokesman. So you have that as one element of the timing here. And then you have, as you and Paul just acknowledged, this book coming out, one of the biggest political books in several years.
This move by the Democrats was not the least bit sneaky. If Brian Stelter is saying this looks weird, what do you think is going through the minds of every single American who is not radically Trump deranged? Like, I remember when the Hur report came out well before I was making these videos in 2023, and his conclusion was Biden is just a doddering old man who can't be held criminally liable for the same thing that they raided Mar-a-Lago for. And the entire Democrat apparatus attacked this man for making it political. The Democrat media, the politicians, the influencers, all engaged in spreading the same lie. And now fast forward to today, and none of them say they did. They all say it didn't happen. They all say that they were duped. They say that they were lied to. They act like they had no part to play in this. In fact, people like Jake Tapper are actually cashing in on the lie. I guess kudos to him for getting out in front of this whole thing, but the Democrats are just relying on everybody drawing a blank over what happened the past 4 years. They called us conspiracy theorists. They called us lunatics for believing Joe Biden wasn't the sharpest man on planet Earth. And now it is all crumbling at their feet because everybody who voted for Trump knew Joe Biden wasn't mentally fit since 2020. But now everybody who didn't vote for Trump knows that they were lied to and their party is dangerous. Listen to Van Jones say on CNN that this has done generational damage to the Democrats.
First, this book is extraordinary. I don't care who you are, left, right, or otherwise. Anybody who cares about this country and about just the dynamics of power, this is the emperor's new clothes playing itself out in real time. Everybody knew, but everyone was afraid to say, except for David Axelrod for 2 years, that something was wrong here. And so, I was shocked. I love Joe Biden. I don't like him. I love him. I got a chance to work with him when I was a part of the Obama administration and loved him more every day. I was shocked to see his condition when he came out, and so was the world. And that wasn't the first time he was in that condition. The book makes it very, very clear. There are people who knew and said nothing. And that is a crime against this republic. And I think the Democrats are going to pay for a long time for being a part of what is now being revealed to be a massive cover-up.
What he said at the end, spot on. This is nothing short of a crime against the United States. Whoever orchestrated this should be arrested for treason. They usurped the constitutional power of the president and created a bureaucratic dictatorship. And the general sentiment from the left is, move on, forget about it. Why are you mad about it? That happened in the past. And why we demand heads need to roll is because there clearly had to be some chain of command within the White House. Clearly, people were making decisions. Clearly, people were giving other people authority to do things. Clearly, people were signing things on Joe Biden's behalf. And there should be records of this, evidence of this. And now what's also resurging on X is a clip of Biden from 2022 that was just brushed to the side as some gaffe, some misspeak, where he admits that he has cancer. Take a look.
And because it was a 4-lane highway that was accessible, my mother drove us, and rather than us be able to walk. And guess what? The first frost, you know what was happening? It had to put on their windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer. and why can't, for the longest time, Delaware had the highest cancer rate in the nation.
I mean, there you go. The President of the United States has the best medical care in the world, bar none. And they would have spotted this cancer early, at worst. And this is like in an imaginary scenario. They would have found it when it was a moderate form of cancer. The fact that they're pretending that Joe Biden just found out a couple of days ago that he has late-stage, aggressive, severe prostate cancer is an insult to every single person's intelligence. And the last clip I'm going to show you, just to hammer in the point, is a medical doctor saying that this kind of discovery of late-term aggressive cancer doesn't even happen to people in the United States who have the worst access to medical care, let alone the president.
You believe it is likely, if this prostate cancer has spread to the bone, that he could have had it for up to a decade, but certainly it's likely. Would it be fair to say it's likely to have had this for at least several years?
Oh, more than several years. You don't get prostate cancer.
So again, I just want to stop you. So this is not speculation. If you have prostate cancer that is spread to the bone, then he's most certainly, you are saying, had it when he was president of the United States.
Oh, yeah. He did not develop it in the last 100, 200 days. He had it while he was president. He probably had it at the start of his presidency in 2021. Yes, that I don't think there's any disagreement about that.
At this point, I don't even feel as if an apology is in order. I feel as if trials and life sentences are the only justifiable thing. Again, look at the policies of the Biden administration: an expansion of government, massive push towards socialism, mass importation of the third world to drain our welfare state, the mandatory degradation of our society's culture by force, a very globalist agenda. There was not a single element of what Joe Biden did that was pro-American. And for all his flaws, I don't even believe that a 60-year-old Joe Biden would have allowed this to happen. This could have only happened by an orchestrated effort to put a dead person in the presidency as a mere figurehead and let a whole bunch of unelected, no-name, no-face people pull the strings of the actual functions of the government. These are crazy times. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. And I will see you guys in the next one.